Shane Floyd here with Swift Hill Productions. Did you know that there are two men in West Texas that are preparing to make a motion picture film? Swift Hill Productions caught up with these two guys to get the info.
The film will take place being shot on the rolling plains like it used to be, or like that area is, and that'll be up around the Amarillo area. There's a lot of history up there, still a lot of history. It's so close to Oklahoma that we have the Indian actors that can come in from Oklahoma, and the stand-ins and so forth. And it's geographically, we're probably not shooting more than 30, 45 minutes from the real location. And the reason being is we wanted to keep that openness about what this country was, the expansiveness of it, and we want to show that.
We think it's an integral part of Texas history, a story that needs to be told, a story of two cultures coming together and clashing and basically having to adapt to the way the world was changing.
And I think this is such an important part of what Texas is all about, because there are a great number of Native Americans that are still in Texas and never made it into the reservation areas such as Oklahoma and so forth. And they've been skirted somehow. And so this is a way to legitimize what I feel like is the Native American community in Texas, as well as keeping a lot of the history of Texas alive.
We believe this to be a Texas project, and based on that, we want to do it here in Texas. We want to have Texas people working on it, cast, crew, directors. We'd like it to be all Texas if possible, simply because we want people to have the same passion that we have for portraying this piece of Texas history in a light of Texas. We've worked on this project trying to get it to a different stage for 5 or 6 years. We've had different input and gone some different directions from the Hollywood angle, California angle, have had a lot of interest at different stages, but we've always gotten back to our original goal and original roots of this needs to be a Texas project.
And I think our culture is really so rich, and historically it's been rich. It's noting a time period when things were rough, you know. It's not like going down to the market and buying something to eat. You know, you did an amount of killing on a day-to-day basis, whether it was food for your family or self-preservation. And that worked in both cultures. That worked in the native culture as well as the European culture.
Some of the things that really created more interest for us was not only it's an action story, I mean, an incredible battle scene, but there's a lot of underlying things that are running through this story besides the Texas history. You have the Western culture of the buffalo hunters that they're on the end. Buffalo hunting is fixing to change. And of course you have the Native Americans that are, these are some of the last free people on the plains, and most of them are moving toward reservations, so their life is changing. So the intertwining of those two cultures and how both sides have relationships, and really both sides were brutal and both sides were trying to keep their culture alive. But interspersed through that, there were some significant relationships from Billy Dixon, who was also a half-breed, and also from Quanah Parker, who, of course, everyone knows went and transitioned from the Native American way of life into the white man's world. But both of them had such similarities to both being half-breeds, to both having very special relationships with their mothers. And that just amazes me through everything they went through, some of the relationships that really drove them behind the scenes, instead of just getting caught up into the story of a big battle, but the significance of the battle.
It was one of these really elliptical stories that you have Quanah, who's part white and Comanche, and it was his ability to bring his people into the modern mainstream, let's say, and instead of them being just completely wiped out, he made sure that they were given a fair break in a way. He met with He met a number of times in Washington, D.C., and he fit very well. He could walk that line between two worlds, and he did that quite well. But the other thing that interested me in Quanah was that he had a deep love for his mother, his family, and when he was taken from her at such a young age, or when she was taken from him, well, it really impacted his life, and he never lost that, I guess, that bond with her, so to speak. And that always remained a real integral part of what he thought of on a daily basis. That's how he directed his life, more so.
Our biggest goal in this project is for everyone involved to have the same passion and feel for this project, especially our investors. We want them to feel good about this project. We want them to have the same passion that we're going into this project with, so that when we walk away from this project, everybody thinks very highly of it and is very proud of the finished project.
I've painted it with the correctness in the history, the way the wardrobe's set up, the way that the shots are made.
We feel like it's a story that is not only exciting, but has a lot of historical significance and needs to be told.